Nietzsche's philosophy for overcoming adversity. What if the key to inner strength isn't escaping pain, but learning to love it? Friedrich Nietzsche called this Amor Fati, the love of one's fate. It's not self-punishment, it's a psychological revolution, seeing every setback as fuel for growth. Most of us treat hardship like a detour from life's real path. Nietzsche saw it as the path itself. His philosophy challenges modern comfort culture. Stop avoiding suffering and start transforming it. And fascinatingly, neuroscience now supports him. When we face challenge with acceptance rather than resistance, the brain rewires for adaptability. Today, you'll learn how to use that same principle to build what Nietzsche called the strength of the overcomer, a mindset forged through adversity, proven by psychology. Lesson 1. The war against what is. Life often feels like a battle against what we didn't choose. The job loss, the illness, the heartbreak. We're told to stay positive, but suppression backfires. Harvard psychologist Daniel Wegner found that trying not to think about pain amplifies it. That's the paradox of control. The more we fight reality, the more power it has over us. Nietzsche recognized this centuries earlier. He wrote that denial and resentment are the roots of weakness. Real strength begins the moment you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now?" Modern acceptance and commitment therapy calls this cognitive defusion, stepping back from thoughts instead of wrestling them. You notice pain, name it, but refuse to let it dictate your story. Acceptance micro-practice. When resistance rises, pause. Inhale for 4 counts. This is what is. Exhale for 6 counts. I release the fight. Then ask, what's one useful action I can take right now? Each time you do this, you weaken the neural pathway of avoidance and strengthen the circuit of adaptability. Over weeks, acceptance stops being surrender. It becomes a superpower. If this idea is resonating with you and helping you see struggle differently, take a second to subscribe. Limitless Mindset is all about staying grounded and growing stronger every day. Lesson 2. Amor Fati, the formula for greatness. Nietzsche's famous challenge was radical even by modern standards. Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. To love your fate is to turn the lens of meaning until every event, pleasant or painful, becomes part of a single masterpiece, your life. Psychologically, this mirrors what Stanford's Carol Dweck calls the growth mindset, believing that ability and character evolve through challenge. Brain imaging studies show that when people interpret difficulty as an opportunity to learn, the anterior cingulate cortex, the region handling error detection, stays calm. The mind stays curious instead of defensive. Nietzsche intuited this long before MRI machines. Happiness is not ease, it's progress. When you reframe hardship through Amor Fati, you transform threat into training. Reflection exercise. Think of one event you still resent. Write down how it changed you. Now add this line. Because of that, I learned blank. Repeat it until you feel even 1% of gratitude for what it gave you. Each repetition lays a new myelin layer on the neural pathway of resilience. Acceptance isn't passive, it's creative. You become the author who edits meaning instead of deleting scenes. Lesson 3. The will to power and the science of strength. Nietzsche's will to power is often misunderstood as dominance. In truth, it's life's internal urge to expand, to overcome resistance and express potential. Psychologist Albert Bandura called this self-efficacy, the belief that your actions can influence outcomes. When you act from that belief, Dopamine rewards effort itself, not just results. Modern flow state research by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi shows the same pattern. Peak performance happens when challenge slightly exceeds skill, just enough tension to pull growth forward. That's the will to power in action, the feeling that power increases because resistance exists. No adversity, no momentum. Imagine training for a marathon. The discomfort isn't failure, it's the signal that adaptation is occurring. The muscle trembles so it can rebuild stronger. The same happens psychologically. Frustration precedes progress. So when Nietzsche says, "Become who you are," he's describing neuroplasticity before the term existed. Every conscious act of endurance rewires you toward mastery. Mini practice. At the end of each day, ask, what resistance did I overcome? What strength increased because of it? Write one sentence. That's your daily proof of growth. We've learned that acceptance is not giving up, that loving fate rewires the mind for growth, and that willpower expands through resistance. But Nietzsche didn't stop there. He believed true greatness comes when you not only accept life's hardships, but also find meaning so profound you'd live them again. In the next part, we'll explore the eternal recurrence, the neuroscience of meaning, and modern psychology's discovery of post-traumatic growth, how purpose is born from pain. Lesson 4: The eternal recurrence and the neuroscience of meaning. Nietzsche's thought experiment begins with a whisper from eternity. You will have to live this life again and again, exactly the same. Would you shudder in regret or smile and say yes? He called this test the eternal recurrence. It's not about literal repetition, it's a psychological mirror reflecting how deeply you affirm your existence. Modern neuroscience tells us why this idea strikes so hard. The human brain is wired to seek meaning coherence, to link events into a story. When life feels senseless, the brain's default mode network flares with rumination and anxiety. But when you assign purpose, activity shifts toward the prefrontal cortex, the region governing perspective and calm. Psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, drawing on Nietzsche's insight, discovered this in the concentration camps. Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Meaning transforms suffering into endurance. Brain reframing practice. The eternal journal. Each night ask, 1. If I had to relive today forever, what would I keep? 2. What attitude would I change next time? 3. How can tomorrow's version of me honor this same day better? This reflection harnesses neuroplasticity. You aren't trapped by memory, you're retraining it. The mind learns to extract purpose instead of pain. When you can look at your past without resentment, you've passed Nietzsche's test, not by denying hardship, but by mastering the art of meaning. Lesson 5: Purpose through pain, post-traumatic growth. Nietzsche called suffering the great liberator of the spirit. Modern psychology finally caught up. Researchers Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun coined post-traumatic growth, the measurable positive transformation following major adversity. They found 5 recurring outcomes: deeper appreciation of life, strengthened relationships, new possibilities, personal strength, and spiritual change. In other words, pain can expand your capacity for joy. The key is integration, not avoidance. Traumatic memories lose their sting when the brain refiles them within a narrative of growth. This is where philosophy meets therapy. Exercise: the challenge inventory. Take a blank page. Draw 3 columns. Challenge: what it taught me. Strength I gained. List 3 events you once labeled as failures. Fill in what each built inside you: patience, courage, empathy. Completing this table literally reshapes self-image. Instead of a record of defeats, you're staring at a ledger of evolution. Nietzsche believed every great creator emerged from chaos. Today we'd say, adversity triggers neural rewiring, forcing dormant circuits to connect. Growth is biological. Resilience is structural. If this exploration has helped you see your own challenges with new eyes, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss your daily boost. And share this video with someone who needs it today. Summary. From resistance to resilience. Let's gather the pieces. 1. The war against what is. Acceptance quiets the mind's struggle and restores focus. 2. Amor Fati. Reframing hardship builds growth circuits in the brain. 3. The will to power. Challenge activates the feedback loop of self-efficacy. 4. The eternal recurrence. Meaning turns repetition into revelation. 5. Purpose through pain. Post-traumatic growth transforms wounds into wisdom. Together, they create a single principle. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. Every hardship carries 2 choices: resentment or refinement. One drains, the other develops. Nietzsche's invitation is radical but clear. Choose refinement every time. Guided visualization. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture a forge, flame, metal, hammer. Every trial you faced is molten iron. Each strike, each spark, shapes you into something resilient and radiant. Now breathe in the phrase Amor Fati, love of fate. Exhale resistance. Whisper quietly, I say yes to it all. That is the sound of your mind rewiring for power. Adversity isn't an interruption in your story, it's the engine driving it forward. The next time life challenges you, remember, your brain, your body, and your spirit are built to adapt. Pain is information. Meaning is mastery. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, subscribe now and join our Limitless Mindset community. I'll see you tomorrow for your next daily boost.